Hey, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a pair of these little Western faux turquoise earrings. To get started, I'm going to go over the supplies. I'm going to use size O Nymo thread. I have a triangle frame, a couple of ear wires. These beads are just like silver. And then these beads are Picasso beads. It might be easier to see in this bag. Found these on Etsy. They just kind of look like turquoise. I couldn't find them in my local bead shop, so that's why I went online. And I just use a size 12 needle. And I run my thread through this conditioner. Everyone always asks me about this. It is really old. Like, I have had it like at least 15 years. It's old. It's just a thread conditioner. You can use beeswax as well, but I just pinch my thread through, and this kind of helps, well, it conditions it. If there's any flyaways, or helps you avoid getting flyaways. And depending on how you bead or what you bead, it can help your two strands of thread stick together better. So this is the first earring, and I'm just going to show you how to make its pair. I'm going to start off with my triangle and my thread, and I'm going to give myself a nice maybe 4 inches and tie a knot. When I like how that looks, tie a second knot. The end of the project, you're going to want to weave this end in, so just give yourself enough thread to do that. To start it off, I'm going to grab 2 beads, bring them down to the base, and I kind of hold it onto them by pinching, and I bring my thread through and loop it, and you can just go through both of these beads. So kind of should look like that, but a little bit tighter. And to make them flat, I'm going to go back up through this one bead. Of course, it's not wanting to cooperate. Here we go. Kind of shaped it to how it's supposed to look, and tighten it a little bit. So I'm just going to carry on grabbing one bead at a time. And same standard procedure. You loop through, and then you go up through that bead again. And it can kind of move along here. See, it's not so tight that it's not unable to move there. As we get more beads and everything on here, we're going to fill up that entire bar, so then it will be pretty solid. But don't worry if it's not solid on there at the moment. This particular size, it's going to be 14 beads across for me. I could probably squeeze one more bead on here, but I liked the look of 14, so I just ran with that. If you have a smaller fitting, you'll have fewer beads, and if it's larger, you can put more beads on. I want to say this particular pair of earrings usually takes me about half an hour to make each pair. If you're a beginner, it'll probably take a little bit longer, but this is a pretty easy, beginner-friendly pattern. These basics you can really kind of get going and make your own design, or make this one kind of exact. You can do whatever. This is just basic brick stitch for this pattern. Oops. So when we start a new row, we pick up 2 beads. And you want to look at these little loops here. So for the very first part of a row, since I picked up 2 beads, I'm going to go through the second loop after the second bead there. Okay, and then go back up this bead, down, and then back up to make it all flat and get my thread in the correct next spot. So it's all laying pretty flat. I like to tug on it a little bit and make sure it's kind of as tight as it's going to get. Pick up 1 bead at a time now, and I'm just going to go through that next loop. And then you go directly back up through that bead. And you just do that until you run out of a row. Okay, looking at the last bead to add. for this row. Don't need to do anything special yet. Okay. Now to start our new row, we pick up 2 beads like we did on the other side. And I'm just going to show you it's the opposite. So we come in to the second loop on this side, and then you go up the bead that's right on top of your string. Down your next available bead, and then back up that first bead. Make sure it's nice and tight and flat and looks how you want it to look. Then for the rest of the row, it's just 1 bead at a time again. And this time the row will just be 1 bead shorter. So I'm going to do a couple more beads here, and then I will meet you back when I start the rows with silver for the tip. I'm ready to start doing the silver tip portion, which looks like that. Right now it is 8 beads long. So my next layer is going to have a silver bead on each end and have 5 turquoise beads in the middle. So like normal, I pick up 2 beads. So the outer bead is going to be silver, and then the inner bead is the turquoise. Go in on the second loop. Oops. Up, down, and up. So these aren't the exact same size, but I'm finding that it's not really a big deal. I've actually sold a couple pairs of this earring. I think that, I don't know, when I first started making it, it kind of irritated me that they weren't the exact same size, but I couldn't find the silver and the round shaped beads, and I mostly work in round beads. So I didn't really have an option. So I made it work. And it looks pretty, and people have bought it, so I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so there's 1 space left. Silver bead. Okay, new row. So silver outside bead. Turquoise is next. Last bead of the row is silver. Kind of nice working in triangles like this because the end seems to go really quick. Ow. Poked myself pretty good there. If you're using a color that has some really short round beads, you might try and be selective and get the bigger ones for that batch, at least for this end part, because the silver beads are taller. I mean, if you have the same scenario, I noticed I was doing a pair of these and I had grabbed a pretty short round bead and it made things look weird, so I had to undo and redo. But with the normal size ones, I think it looks just fine. We're getting close to the end. Just a few more rows. I will show you how I finish off the ends on this project. Okay, this row is going to be just 2 silver beads because there's only room for 2 beads here. Alright, and then for the tip, I do just do 1 bead. Go under that single available loop. Back up. And you can see there is a string on the outside that's visible. It's so small though. It's not super visible. So to weave in from here, to match it, I'm just going to go down this next bead. Okay, then so that's flat. And then I kind of just weave the ends in. I go through the beads. So I'm just going to make sure I go side to side by 1 and then down. So I'm going to go through here. Oops, lost my needle. You can see that the thread just hid. Okay, I'm going to go a couple more. And I'm going to loop this one. So I'm going to go down this bead, back through that same bead, and then just a couple more. With how earrings are worn, and especially since this isn't like a dangly pair or anything like that, it's really unlikely that it would be, it would unravel. These are my favorite type of scissors. I don't know. You can get really close. Okay, so get our beginning thread woven in. So, kind of to give this top bit a little more stability, I loop the thread around the metal finding and then go down a bead. So kind of just adds more thread where there's already thread up there. And then just kind of same program. Leave in and out. And this one's already knotted on the finding, so you know it's not also not really going to go anywhere. Just kind of going to make a circle. Alright, and then the next step is just to put the earring wires on. So rotate that a little bit. Voila. Please like, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment if you have any questions or requests. Thanks for watching.